So now if you look over here, what is our requirement is we need to actually calculate the monthly staff cost. But first we need to know what's our elements. Element over here is we do have salary. So I'm going to write here salary, and then after that next thing is overtime, and then the third thing is EPF, fourth is SOCSO, fifth is bonus. So if you look here more carefully, the salary is given based on average monthly salary per employee. So we do have average monthly salary. Okay, I'm going to put here average monthly salary, and then it multiplies with the number of headcount. So I'm going to write here number of headcounts, because every company over here they will have number of employees. So over here it is shown that average monthly salary per employee. So one employee 5,000. So we have a headcount of 50. So it need to multiply. And not to forget, every year we do have a salary increment which falls on every first month of the year. So we also have salary increment rate. Okay, so now we have salary. Next is overtime. Overtime is, notice that average overtime hours per employee. So this is per employee, we need to calculate the head count. So over here I'm going to write here head count multiply with average overtime hours, and then after that multiply with overtime rate. So this is for overtime. Next is EPF. EPF is normally the 11% of the salary. So I'm going to put here the rate 11%, you multiply with the salary, which is over here. And then the next thing is SOCSO, which is 69 ringgit per person. So I'm going to put here 69 ringgit per person, you multiply with the head count. And then lastly, bonus. So bonus is 2 months. So I'm going to put here 2 months, multiply with your salary. And not to forget, you don't get actually bonus every month. Basically, bonus will be given every May. So in this case, you need to multiply with May. Okay, so May month. So this is basically the formula of this particular data. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to copy this and I'm going to paste it over here. So I'm going to paste it over here. So now this is my data. But I cannot simply calculate the salary first. What I need to have in every financial modeling is the flex. So I'm going to select this particular row, Control Shift equal, and I'm going to put here flex. So first thing is salary increment year flex. So this is to indicate whether the particular year is a salary increment or not. So I'm going to put here equal, select this, not equal to 1. Meaning to say, on this current year, you don't get increment. You will only get an increment for the subsequent year, year 2, year 3, and so on. So I'm going to press Ctrl G, EZ, and EZ8, and enter, Ctrl Shift left, Ctrl R. So now this is our data. So this is to indicate whether we get the increment every year, not on the first year. And what I'm going to do is, I want to use conditional formatting. So I'm going to go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, I put text that contain. And I'm going to put here TR. So whatever it is true, it should be green color. And press OK. And whatever is false, it should be red color. So I'm going to put here text that contain, FA, and enter. So in this case, whenever it's false, it indicates that it is not the salary increment year. Salary increment will be given on the first month of the subsequent year. So like year 2 and year 3 and so on. So now we do have salary increment year. The next thing that we need to figure out is the salary increment rate. Meaning to say, what I want is, normally in the current year, we have no increment. But subsequent year, I want to have the increment. As you can refer in this particular tab, assumption tab, we notice that the salary increment is given every first month of the year and the rate is 5%. So meaning to say, what I want is, I want to put here 5%. And the next year, 2027, I want it to be 10%. And over here, which is year number 4, I want to put it as 15%. So basically, if you notice, I am actually doing this manually one by one. In financial modeling, it's not about doing manually one by one. Instead, I'll use a formula to actually calculate the rate. So in this case, what I'm going to do is, I'll just put here equal to open bracket. So now we do have this year number. This year number I minus with 1. And then close bracket, multiply with go to assumption tab over here and I select this particular cell C5. Why I select this cell? Because this cell has the increment rate and I need to log this by pressing the F4 button and I press enter. So meaning to say right now it will show you 0. So what I need to do is I need to change this to a percentage format. Alternate HP. So I'm going to change this to a percentage format. Ctrl G, EZ is the last column and row number 9. Enter, Ctrl Shift left, Ctrl R. And just like that, you will notice that here we have 5%. In year 2027 is 10%, 2028 is 15%, and so on. So every year there is an increment of 5%, 5%, 5%. So this is the formula whereby we use the year number minus 1 and multiply with the increment rate. And then what I want to do is I want to add a new thing. So I want to put here 1 plus open bracket and then I close bracket. So meaning to say here we have 100%. I Ctrl Shift right arrow, Ctrl R, and then what I'm going to do is I want to align center. Alternate HAC.